Okay, so, job interviews,
Mhm.
everyone's been there, right? Like trying to remember what you even put on your resume.
Yeah, it's definitely stressful for most people.
And we all want that like secret recipe for success, right?
Mhm.
So we find things like this YouTube video I found, and it actually says it has a 100% success rate if you just use these 12 brilliant things to say in
Wow.
your interview. Sounds a little too good to be true, right?
Well, guaranteed success rate is maybe a bit much, but yeah, there are definitely things you can do to really improve your chances.
For sure. So that's why we're picking apart this video today.
Right.
Not because we think it's like the be-all, end-all, but because even advice that's a little cheesy can get us talking about stuff that's actually helpful.
Right. It's like a peek behind the curtain to see what hiring managers really want, beyond all the buzzwords.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the video jumps right in. It says to research the company. It even says that most people fail because they just care about the money and don't bother to learn about the company.
Ooh, a little harsh, but I guess they have a point. Being able to actually talk about the company is important, but it's more than just reading that about us page.
Yep.
You want to research, like you're putting together a case for why you should be at that company.
Okay, so not just their mission statement, but like finding things that show you actually connect with their goals.
Exactly. Look for their culture, their values, what projects they've done lately. Are they in the news? What are people saying about them online? You want to know if you'd actually like working there, not just getting a paycheck.
That makes sense. It's like, are they a good fit for you too? So the video's next big tip is something I'm sure we've all heard. I'm eager to contribute. It says hiring managers love hearing that, but is it like real excitement or just something people say?
It can sound empty if there's nothing to back it up. Instead of just saying it, show it. Think about what you can actually do based on your skills and what they need. Like, say you're applying for a marketing job. You could say, I'm eager to contribute my social media experience to reach a wider audience, especially Gen Z.
So like make it personal and show your skills actually match what they need.
Yeah, show them you've done your homework and you really want this job at this company.
Now this next one's interesting. The video says I'm adaptable is something every hiring manager wants to hear.
Yeah.
They even say the worst employees are those who won't do anything outside their job description.
Well, there's a balance, right? Being adaptable and willing to help is good, but you don't want to feel like you're being taken advantage of.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like show you're flexible, but not like you'll do absolutely anything.
It's all about how you say it. Think about times you took on something new or helped outside your normal role. Maybe you volunteered for a project. Share that. But focus on what you learned, the skills you got, and how it helped the team.
So show you can take initiative, but don't like sign up for tons of extra work on your first day.
Exactly.
Which actually, this is perfect because the video's next tip is to bring an actual plan to the interview,
Oh, wow.
like a document of what they do in the role. I almost laughed out loud when I saw that one.
Yeah, that's not your usual advice.
I could just picture someone pulling out a whole PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So is this brilliant or completely over the top?
Okay, so on the one hand, it shows you're ready. Bringing a plan means you're not waiting around for someone to tell you what to do. That might impress some hiring managers.
And for some jobs, like maybe something visual or strategy heavy, it might actually be good.
Right. It depends. But then again, showing up with your whole plan already done on day one could be a problem. Like you're not open to working with the team or you think their way of doing things is all wrong.
So maybe save the physical plan for specific situations if you already know the hiring managers into that.
Yeah, a more subtle way is usually better. Use the interview to show you're prepared by asking good questions that show you've really thought out the role and the company's challenges. You can mention some ideas you have without giving a whole presentation.
Show you can think strategically, but don't make the interview all about you.
Exactly. Now, switching gears a little, the video also talks about continuous learning, which seems like pretty solid advice.
For sure. I mean, who isn't trying to learn and keep up these days, right?
Right. But don't just say you love to learn. Hiring managers want to see that you actually do it.
So how do you prove that in an interview?
Be specific. Talk about courses you've taken, new skills you've learned, maybe even books and articles you've read to stay updated. Like, did you go to a workshop on a new design software or listen to a podcast about the future of your field? Sharing real examples shows you're really invested in getting better.
And that you're not just saying what you think they want to hear. Now, before we get into the rest of the video's tips, I want to stop for a sec. From a hiring manager's view, what's been the most important takeaway so far?
It really comes down to being genuine. Like anyone can memorize a bunch of phrases, but good hiring managers, they can see through that. They want to see real excitement, you
Yeah.
know? that you prepared and you want to learn and grow. They want to see the real you.
So it's about showing them you actually care about the job, not just trying to say the right things.
Yeah.
Speaking of saying the right things, the video has a few more tips we should talk about. One that caught my eye was about your track record of achievement. They actually say to bring a list of accomplishments to the interview.
It is important to highlight what you've achieved, but I don't know about just reading off a list. That could seem kind of robotic.
Yeah.
Instead, try to work your accomplishments into the conversation naturally. Like when you're talking about your experience, connect those past successes to what this new role needs. Did you go above and beyond sales goals or
Or
lead a big project? Use those examples to show what you could bring to their team.
sure don't just tell,
Yeah,
right? And again, make sure it fits the specific company and job.
exactly.
Which actually, this goes right into another thing from the video about asking questions at the end of an interview. They say to actually say, I would like to ask 3 questions, please. What do you think about that?
Asking questions is good, but I wouldn't worry too much about the exact number. It's more about how good your questions are and if they actually make sense, you know? 2 really insightful questions that show you've been paying attention are way better than 5 generic ones.
So what kinds of questions should people be asking?
Ask about things you actually want to know, like the company culture, the team's biggest challenges, or how you could grow in the role, things that show you've been listening and thinking about what they've said.
So show them you're not just looking for any JLE job, but you're thinking about this job at this company.
Right.
Okay, another quick one. The video says to make sure you say, I value feedback. They even say to use that if they ask you to describe yourself in 3 words.
It's definitely good to value feedback, but using those exact words can sound a little unnatural, almost like you memorized it from a script.
Like you're trying too hard to say the right thing instead of just being yourself.
Exactly. A better way to do it is to talk about how you're open to feedback when you're talking about wanting to learn and grow. Share a time when you got feedback and used it to improve your work.
That shows them you're not just saying it, you actually want to get better.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing the video mentions is sending a thank you email after the interview.
Oh, thank you note. A classic for a reason.
It seems so simple, but it really does matter, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It shows you appreciate their time and that you're still interested in the job. Use that email to say you're excited again and remind them how your skills match what they need. You can even mention something specific from the interview so they remember you.
That personal touch can make a big difference. So as we wrap up this YouTube video deep dive, I have to say it's been pretty interesting. Some good advice in there, but it really shows how important it is to do more than just say the right things in an interview.
Yeah, it's about the whole picture. Your energy, your body language, how you connect with the person. Just be yourself, you know?
Like you said at the beginning, authenticity is key. So to everyone out there getting ready for their next big interview, remember this. Preparing is good, but don't forget to just be you.
Do your research, practice talking about your skills, and come ready with good questions. But most importantly, just relax, be yourself, and let your personality show.
Perfectly said. And if you want even more help with job interviews, check out the amazing resources our expert speaker has created. They're full of great advice on everything from resumes to salary negotiation.
Thanks for having me. It was fun chatting with you today.
And to our awesome listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We're here to help you navigate the job hunt one conversation at a time. See you next time.